Here I'm going to be taking a look at the Marvel Legends series, The Thing, Marvel's The Thing, from the Fantastic Four First Steps. This particular figure has been out for a few months now, ever since the actual movie came out back in July. I actually bought some of the other figures in the series for Fantastic Four First Steps. Never did get The Thing, but it was when I was recently walking around the Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout store at Disney California Adventure Park, and I saw they had The Thing. So I figured I would grab it and complete my Fantastic Four collection of the four main heroes, because I do have the other ones, Mr. Fantastic, Sue Storm, and Johnny Storm, the Human Torch. So I'll showcase those ones later. Inevitably, this review will probably end up being a review for all four of those guys, because I never showcased those in any previous videos. But here we have The Thing. Classic looking thing right there. Although, something I'm going to say right off the bat, and I'll talk about this in the review, the main thing I have a problem with this figure is that it's the shirtless version of The Thing. Now, for most versions of The Thing, you think of The Thing as, like, shirtless. That's his general look. But in the movie, you only saw him shirtless in those short montage flashback sequences towards the beginning, where for the duration of the main story of the movie, he's wearing, a uniform, he's wearing a shirt. Something we don't really see The Thing do in a lot of the versions over the last, few decades. But that's how the movie portrayed it, as that's actually how things were for The Thing in some of the earlier comic material before, for whatever reason, they went with their whole shirtless look. I wish this was the shirt look when he had got like the blue sweater look like the rest of the team. And he doesn't even have shoes, which he did wear shoes in the movie. So that's what I'm going to say right off the bat. I'll get more into that later. But you see, good display of The Thing right here. You see the accessories he comes with some extra open hands. He's already got his fists in right here. Fantastic Four First Steps. The box is nicely colored after the theming of Fantastic Four First Steps, so that's very nice. Some more art of The Thing, and then more art back here. No description. Usually these Marvel Legends have some kind of description going, but not this one in particular. I do have, like I said, I bought the other ones from the series. Here's, turn them around. That's for Johnny Storm. That's for Mr. Fantastic. And I don't think I can get all of them in one shot. It's going to be a little tight. Oh, there we go. And there's Sue Storm. So there's the box art for all of those guys. But I've already taken these guys, all the other ones, besides The Thing, obviously, out of their box. I got these ones, the other three, a few months ago, back when the movie actually came out around July or August. I still have some of the accessories in these ones. I have the extra Mr. Fantastic stretchy arm, some of Sue Storm's hands, and Johnny Storm's flame arms. But I'll showcase more of those when we actually get to looking at those guys. So without further ado, I'm going to open this guy up. It's one of the simpler Marvel Legends packaging ones that they have with these modern day figures, where you just take out the tape right here, and you take it. Oh wow, it only came with one set of tape. Oh, made it even easier. One on the right corner right there, so that makes it easy to slide out. It's a heavy Marvel Legends, naturally, because it's a thing. But there we have with him outside of his pack, still outside of the box, but in the plastic covering. This one is pretty heavy compared to your normal figure for obvious reasons. I'll get rid of that for now. So there we have him. Doesn't have any of the wraps around him, those wrist ties or whatever you want to call them, twist ties. Makes it easy to just pull them out. Alright, and then we have Ben Grimm, The Thing, in the rocky flesh. So we can get a good zoom in on him. There we go. All right, so that's the thing from the movie is that it's classic looking Thing as far as that face having those like extended eyebrow pieces that are bulging out the way that the mouth was. It was really classic Thing. Obviously CG compared to the version from the early 2000s, those Jessica Alba movies. But the Thing, in terms of his look, he looked really good in those movies, and this captures that look perfectly as far as being classic Thing in live action. Very stiff figure, but he does have no sweater, unfortunately. He's got those blue pants though, same color scheme as the rest of the team, and no shoes. See his rocky toes, 4 digits like his fingers. But I'll sound like a broken record. I really do think, though, if they were going to do this, they should have had the shirt version, because that's the version that complements the rest of the team. That just would have looked a lot better. I don't know what the creative decision, why they chose to do that, unfortunately. But kind of a basic figure in terms of what you get with him. In terms of got the articulation you would expect, with the arms, elbow. I don't think he can. Seemingly he can move his wrist, but it's kind of stiff. Maybe not. I don't know. It feels like I'm gonna break it. Can move it up a little bit, I guess. It might be this wrist piece right here. That's the communication device that he uses with the rest of the team, I guess. Basic wrist, torso, got a little bit. Knee, pretty stiff, but it bends a decent amount. On the foot, again, fresh out the box, so it does feel stiff. Actually, this feels really weird. Like this piece on the heel looks like you can just like snap that right off. I don't think you would want to, though. It would have been interesting if he came with like an extra set of shoes, if you wanted to give him a shoes look. Because again, this whole shirt and no shirt, no shoes, that's just not what you saw from the Thing from the movie. It was more of a, I don't want to say civilized version, but it was just kind of that's just what they went with. A version that was wearing, clothes all the time, whether it was, a shirt all the time. And he certainly was wearing shoes also. So I think that was a bad creative choice right there. Accessories he comes with an extra set of hands. That's fine, but I think the fist look do just fine for now, so I'm not going to take those out. Before I do the obvious comparison with the rest of the team, let me get him to stand real quick. Oops. There we go. You see a nice shot of him right there. Good height to the figure as far as how it looks. There we go. Get him to look up a little bit. I didn't really showcase his head movement. He can move his head. Yeah, he can move his head a decent amount. So that's not too bad. So he can be looking up like that. Alright, so before we get to the obvious comparisons with the rest of the team, I wanted to showcase him with some other notable Marvel bruisers, the big strong guys. The first one to do is him next to Marvel Legends series Red Hulk. Oops, and I gotta move my camera back. There we go. Red Hulk from another Marvel movie from earlier this year, Captain America Brave New World. You see, and this is an appropriate size comparison because the Hulk has always been bigger and stronger than the Hulk. So this scale works perfectly. The Thing in the actual Fantastic Four movies, or the first steps anyway, he was around the same height as the rest of the team, as a few versions are anyway. But you see Red Hulk just towers over this guy. Something that's really notable about not the figures themselves, but pricing wise, this one is the same price as your normal Marvel Legends, so that $24 range around there. This one, this Red Hulk, was $39. It is some of those ones that come with more accessories or that just bigger figures in general. They spike up the price on those ones. You can see for the height that you get on the Red Hulk here, that size, I think that's a fair price, just because this one is a much bigger figure. So there's your size comparison and price comparison, so you can see why they're priced the way they're at. Another one to do, showcase another Marvel Bruiser. Him next to Marvel Legends series. Here we go. Colossus from the Deadpool movies. I think this scale is pretty good also, just because Colossus is more of a, taller character, a bit more stocky. So it's not a drastic height difference, but it's, it's notable enough to where I think this is actually pretty appropriate. Again, when you think of Marvel Bruisers, you think of the Hulk, the Thing, and Colossus, those guys that are known for their strength. But like Red Hulk, this Colossus was priced at it was $39, and to me that's insane. That when I got this one last year, that's insane that this one is $39, this Colossus, and this one, this Thing is $24. That's more of a commentary on this Colossus one. I mean, this was not worth $39. I know it's a little bit bigger than your normal Marvel Legends, but I mean, come on, there's no reason that this should be $39 and then this one $24. That was a bit silly to me. I didn't really understand that. But here's your three classic Marvel Bruisers together. Well, I mean, technically you would need to have the regular you would need to have the regular version of the Hulk, not the Red Hulk. But this is the best I can do. I actually don't have like any regular Hulk figures to showcase off. So there's those three together right there, Marvel Bruisers. One more just for fun, another Bruiser, strong person if you will. The Thing and Marvel Legends stand. There you go. She-Hulk. Showcase that comparison. Haven't had these guys together, obviously. And then these ones, She-Hulk. Yeah, it is a bit taller than the Thing, and I think that's appropriate. She-Hulk did seem like, based on what we've seen, she would be taller than the Thing, if they ever were like actually in the same kind of frame together. So those are some Marvel Legends Bruisers from the Marvel Cinematic Universe right there. So those guys. But obviously, if we're doing showcasing the Thing, and if I have the other figures in this series, we got to showcase him next to the other team members. So here's the Thing. Oh, need a nice shot right there. All right, so stand. Should be able to stand pretty well. If I push the feet down a little bit. All right, so there's the Thing, and here's the size comparison you got to do. Here's first with him, with Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic. This scale, it's kind of tough to tell just based on the angle. So there's that scale there. I actually think, based on what was shown in the movies, I actually think that maybe Reed should be a bit taller. It wasn't like a drastic height difference between the two, at least in the shots that I remember. Again, it's not like it's a terrible scale, but maybe I'm remembering wrong. I feel like either Reed should be taller or this maybe should be even a little bit shorter. But either way, this still works. And then the other team members would scale as appropriate. Here's Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman. Naturally, these are all made to scale good with each other, look good with each other. There's Sue Storm. And then the final comparison next to the whole team, the Flame-On version of Johnny Storm. When I was getting these, I figured, let me get the Flame-On version. It would be something more fun to have. They had the regular version, which, just him and his blue blue and white uni, normal head. I think it had some flame effects on the arms, but I'm like, I think it's just more fun to have this version, the flame on version. At least I think so. So there's the whole team together. Looks good together. The only fun thing about having the regular version is that for a picture like this, it would be cool. But I just think having the flame on version is more different and more pizzazz, if you will. So the team, as you can see, naturally is made to scale pretty well with each other. But I just think they really did just drop the ball on not having the actual sweater version, him wearing a shirt with the whole team. That was his look throughout the movie. After you got past that opening montage, again, the only time you really saw him with the whole shirtless look was those opening like little montage bits where they're showcasing the history of the Fantastic Four, where he was like jumping in the ocean and pulling the boat. A few quick shots like that. But for the duration of the main portion of the movie, he's wearing, the classic, either wearing normal civilian clothes with a hat and actual, buttoned up shirt or whatever, or he's wearing, when he's on his mission, he's in like an actual, the actual team uniform with a shirt and pants. They went in the complete opposite direction from that 2015 movie where he was butt naked throughout the whole thing. We definitely didn't need to see that. And again, it's not like the no shirt thing is a bad look for the Thing. I just think for this First Steps version, if you're gonna do a figure of it, you gotta give him the shirt. It's just more accurate to what was seen throughout most of the movie. I don't know if they'll do another version of this one. I mean, I don't think I want to pay another full price just to get that again, just to get the shirt. They should have done it better the first time. At bare minimum, they could have given him shoes, because he was wearing shoes, I think, during those opening montage bits. So that's a bit disappointing, although it is cool to have the whole team together. First Steps was a great movie. Really enjoyed what they did. They finally did Marvel's First Family complete justice on the full screen. I didn't completely hate those original Jessica Alba early 2000s movies. That Fantastic one from 2015 was really bad, though. So this First Steps, was the complete opposite of that one, which meant it was a highly enjoyable movie. A fun scale to do. I never did get the Galactus bucket when they had them out, when they had it in theaters. It was just, they didn't have it in stock by the time I went there. That would have been a pretty cool scale to have. Even though it was just the head, it probably would have complemented this whole team really cool. What I did end up getting instead, though, this is going to be kind of tough to showcase, is this bad boy. Him next to, here's the Herbie bucket from Fantastic Four First Steps. It was I got it at AMC. I'm not sure if you could get it anywhere else, but yeah, they didn't have that Galactus one when I originally went to when I wanted to pick it up. But I didn't want to come out empty-handed, so I got the Herbie one. The Galactus one was like $70. This one was it was I don't know, I'm not sure if it was 70, but it was pretty close in price. So eventually, when they did have the Galactus in stock, even though I really wanted it, I'm all like, I ain't spending about $140 in popcorn buckets. That'd be pretty insane. Obviously, but this does look pretty cool. Obviously, it doesn't scale at all with these guys down here. But it's just kind of a nice display that I use just to F around. And this is a pretty cool bucket. And some of the features it has. Press the button, or one of the buttons you press. It's supposed to make some light up effects, if I remember right. There's your storage container right there. It's got hand movement. I'll see, I haven't effed with this in a while, but I know there's some kind of light. There it is. There's a light up feature right there. It's kind of tough to tell because it's a projection light, so it'd be shining on me. But not terrible. Actually, as far as popcorn buckets go, buckets and sippers, you can see the top part right there. Pretty damn cool. So I just want to showcase that, because I'll probably never really get much of a relevant chance to showcase that one. So there's a scale with the other Fantastic Four That's not a Marvel Legends, obviously. That's a AMC Popcorn Bucket. But a showcase of some of the other Fantastic Four things that I do have. The only other main, besides the other version of the Human Torch that I do not have, the non-Flame-On version, the only other figure in the line was the Silver Surfer. I don't have that one. I've actually seen it a bit more frequently in stores. Maybe I'll pick it up to complete the collection because she was cool enough in the movie. But once I get that one, that'll complete the whole Marvel Legends set of Fantastic Four. They don't have Mole Man or any version of Galactus because you can't really do a regular Marvel Legends for Galactus. It just wouldn't really work. But yeah, so there you go. So overall, in terms of the main focus of the Thing, I do think this is disappointing. Naturally, a Thing figure isn't going to come with a lot of notable accessories or anything like that. That's not the issue. The issue is not doing something that accurately, represents what was shown throughout most of the movie. And if they had a regular, or not regular, but just, him in the team suit, I would love this. 'Cause I'm like, all right, this is giving me what you need to be accurate to the movie. Whereas this, again, shirtless look, not a bad look for the Thing, but just not accurate to what was shown throughout most of the actual movie. But having the team together is still cool enough, I guess. So that'll do it for this review, the showcase of Marvel Legends series The Thing from Fantastic Four First Steps, as well as a look at the rest of the team. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching.